Hello everyone, welcome to SQL tutorial. So in this tutorial we'll learn SQL. So let's get started. So what is SQL? SQL is structured query language. SQL is not a database management system. It is a query language that is used to store and retrieve the data from a database. So if we say in simple words, SQL is a language that communicate with databases, and we use SQL to fetch data from databases. Okay, and nowadays we are using SQL for data analysis. So this is a great tool for data cleaning and data pre-processing as well. We use actually relational database management system to write language. So there are different tools in marketplace like MySQL, PostgreSQL, MariaDB, Microsoft SQL Server. All of them are very popular, but in this tutorial we will use MySQL only. Okay, so we first see how to install MySQL. That will actually MySQL workbench that will work on. Okay, so let's first install this. Let's see how to install it. Okay, so we'll go to Chrome and search Google MySQL workbench, and then we'll go to the download section, and here we see installer file which is 64-bit MSI installer. We'll download it because I have already installed this in my computer. I am not downloading it. Okay, so and another software we need, which is XAMPP. We need this to build a connection or to build a server. Okay, so we need to install XAMPP as well. So we need to simply install this 149 MB. Download this one. Okay, this is easy. So after completing the download process, we'll go to our directory, and here we'll find these two installers. So first we'll install MySQL workbench. So here, since I have already installed it, so there are no like option to install it, but you will get some thing, and you will just need to click next, and everything positive you should click. Okay, and then it will install the file or the workbench tool. Okay, and then you need to install XAMPP window. So you need to click on yes, and then you need to click OK, and then next and next and next, and then install. Okay, so this is showing that the selected folder is not empty. Please select a different folder. Since I have already this in my computer, so this is warning message that you have already this one. So I am not like need of this, need of to install it. So you guys should do it. Okay, should install it to work in the to work with MySQL workbench. So now let's open our workbench file. So this is the interface, our workbench. Now we need to proceed further, we need to create a connection here. So let's build a connection. The connection name is let's say SQL tutorial. Here tutorial. Okay, and the port is 3306, which is a default port, and then the username also is as default as root. Okay, and then now we are gonna test connection. So before doing this, we need to run our server. Okay, that will where our database will be like stored, right? So we need to open XAMPP, and we need to like this is now open. So by default it will be stopped. So we need to start those Apache server and MySQL server. So this is also 3306 port, right? So this will help us to create a connection. So if we now click on test connection, let's continue anyway, and then successfully meet the connection, right? Then click OK. So a new connection has built up. Now open this connection, and here this is our like query interface. We'll write query here, implement query to perform data analysis, either data analysis or to fetch data from databases, as well as fetch data from databases. Okay, now let's get back to our slides. Okay, so here SQL, like there are different type of languages or command for different type of functionalities. So like there are definition language, data definition language that define the actually that define our table, what type of table, the data type, or the structure of the database object like views, schemas, and tables. Okay, these this can be created and modified by this type of language. So we use create, alter, drop command. Like by using create command, we create actually a new table, a view of table or other object in the database. By alter command, we normally modifies an existing database object such as a table. By using drop command, we delete an entire table, a view of a table or other objects. And the truncate command truncates the entire table. Okay, so another language is manipulation language. So it manipulates the data. Like select command actually retrieves certain records from tables, one or more tables. Okay, insert actually used to insert data into tables. Update used to modify the records, not modify the tables data. Okay, tables record. To modify tables record, we use update command. Using delete command, we normally delete records. That means the information of the data of the tables. Okay, so here create, alter, drop, these are definition language, and insert, select, update, delete, these are manipulation language. Manipulation, that means we manipulate the data of the tables. Okay, and the last one is the data control language. So this is a rare scenario. I mean, these is normally is not use cases in our daily life or in our daily work. So there are two types of command that is work like data control, that is used for data controlling language, like grant, which grant means it gives privilege to user. That means an user can do query, like can modify the table, can get access the table by himself, by thyself. Okay, and the revoke command is opposite to grant command, which take back the privileges from users. So these are three types of language. Okay, so we have learned like there are three type of language, right? So let's implement some this basic command into our MySQL workbench. So for this purpose, we'll use database. This is the database. Okay, so this is we will use this database, a company database that contains three tables: employees, departments, and projects tables. So here in every table there is primary key and foreign key. We see that. So in employees table there are employee ID as primary key, and there are department ID as foreign key. Same as for departments, there are primary key as department ID. Okay, and as well as projects. So proceeding before proceeding further, we should know about primary key and foreign key. So what is primary key? A primary key actually is a unique quantity, unique object that it is a column or combination of columns. Okay, in databases, relational databases, table that uniquely identifies each record. That means we use primary key to uniquely identify some data, some record. Okay, so it's a unique identifier. So in real life, like license, driver's license number, telephone number, this could be primary key, because these each of them identify unique, like uniquely identify object, right? So these are primary key. So what is foreign key? Foreign key is a column or group of columns, okay, then in a relational database table that links data in two tables. So foreign key is like our building a connection between two or more tables, because one of the column or one of the feature is common among many tables. Okay, so it acts as cross reference between tables by referencing the primary key of another table. That means foreign key here, since we can take an example here, users and orders table, there are two types of tables. So in users table, user id, here this is a primary key. Same user id using in orders table, we can see that there are duplicate values, but similarly in orders table there are order number, which is a primary key, right? So the primary key, we can see here, the primary key of users table is using as like not primary key or other type of data type or other features, but the same thing in orders table. So the here user id is creating connection, okay, is creating a bridge between users and orders table. So here user id is a foreign key. So a foreign key must be a primary key of another table. We need to keep that in our mind. So here the reason behind we take primary and foreign key to make connection, make bridge between these three tables. Okay, so now let's implement these database into MySQL workbench. So first here we will create a database, name company, okay, company db. Okay, so first run this code. So this is successfully created this database, and then if we need to create tables under this database, we first need to use this database company db. Okay, so one thing should you keep that in mind, you should keep that in mind that the SQL language is not case sensitive, because so we can use like short small letter and capital letter as well. This is not a case sensitive, so we can use either all capital letter or all small letter. Okay, now we'll use this database, and then now we are in our company db database. Now we'll create our those three tables, employees, orders, and employees, departments, and projects. So here we will create our first table, which is our employees table. So create, we'll use a create command. Okay, the ddl command we learned before, the create command, create table employees, the table name, and here we'll use parentheses to create this structure. Okay, and inside this we'll use like what type of record we want to store in this table. So we'll want to let's see the diagram here, the data model here. So in this employees table we have employee id, first name, last name, email, hire date, job title, and department id. Okay, so here we'll create employee id, we'll give it as auto increment, this is keyword, and we'll use it as primary key. We need to define it as primary key. Okay, and then use comma to add more record or add more columns, like first row, first name, we want to give this data type as varchar, that is variable character, and we need to define like the length of this character, like let's I will give it 50, and then it will be not null. This is a feature. Okay, that means this column, first name column, could not be null. Okay, and the last name also be same data type varchar, and so same as 50, not null. And then our email, there's also should be varchar, which is also 50, not null. And last, hire date, hire date is this will be a date object, not null. Date, not null. Okay, and job title, this will be varchar 50, okay, and not null. Department ID, so department ID, this is our integer data type. And we here this is also our foreign key, so we need to set this column as foreign key. So for this we will use a keyword which is foreign key keyword. It is MySQL Workbench is suggesting us, right? Since I am here, I type only F, so it's showing me the possibilities that I could like write, right? The foreign key, and then I'll use here department ID to set this as foreign key. Department ID. References, I'll give a reference. This is a syntax of foreign to set a foreign key. Okay, references will be department, departments. Since I am using this department ID, so this is foreign key here, but this is the primary key of this same department's table, right? So here I need to refer the table, departments table, and from departments table the department keyword or department ID. Okay, and then okay, so we have successfully create our first table, which is employee. Now we're gonna run this table. Okay, so here we got a problem. We get an error which is can't read create table company DB employees foreign key constraint. Okay, so this error occurred because we are referencing a table and it's like that is not even created, right? We are referencing this department table, but this department table is not exist right now. So first we need to create this table. So create table is department departments table. Okay, and here will be department ID as primary key, also auto increment, integer auto increment, and this will be a primary key. Okay, and the department name, department name. Okay, this will be varchar character, and then the length will be 50, which will be not null. So this is our second table. Let's create third table again. Create then run all of them, right? All them together. Create table. Our third table name is projects, right? And let's give the parenthesis and semicolon here. And here will be project ID is the primary key, also integer auto increment. Okay, primary key. Okay, right, and then project name, project name, right, which will be Bharkar. Let's fix it 50, not null, and then start date, which will be a data type, okay, and our end date, the project end date, which also be a date, and then the budget, this will be let's say integer. Okay, we'll define it as decimal because this could be in fraction, right? So here if integer, we provided integer, the integer, that means the whole number, it could not be fraction, but budget could be fraction. So here, since that's why we give decimal, and we may give extra value, like we may give the decimal value maximum that contains 10 digits, and after decimal, after the point, it will take 2 values. So this is specification, right? And then we'll provide our department ID, which is which will be a foreign key for this table. So foreign key, department ID, foreign key, department ID, foreign key, department ID. Okay, department ID, references. This will be our departments table, department ID. Okay, departments and department ID. Okay, so we have successfully created 3 tables. Now let's run all these 3 tables. First one, let's run first table. Showing is the error consisting, right? So what is saying here? Foreign constraint is incorrectly formed. Here we need to first run this table, because still this table is not existing, right? Department table, because we have not created this table here. So first we will create this department table, and second one we can create this employee table, and third we can create this project table. So all the 3 tables have been created, right? Now so we used here create command, okay, and other we learned how to create a table and how to create database and use this database, right? So now we'll learn how to insert data, how to insert record into our table. So let's do this. To insert, we need to use, right, insert command and into the table. So insert into, let's insert first into our employees table, okay, and then here in parentheses we need to provide our the column name. So here we will start providing column name from first name. Why? Because we set this employee ID, the primary key, okay, this set this as auto increment. That means it will automatically increment by 1. So it will count from 1, then 2, then 3. Automatically when a new row will be there, it will increment, the employee ID will be automatically generated. So we start from first name, and then last name, and or email, okay, and then hire date, job title, and department ID. Hire date, job title, and department ID. Okay, so and we'll here the values, this keyword that will help us to insert values, right? Like what will be the values. So here I want to actually use dummy value, since this is for our practice purpose. So let's import some data. So this is our all the data of employees table. So similarly, let's create table and their data for others table like departments and projects. Okay, so now let's run these queries. Okay, so an error occurred. It's showing cannot add or update a child row. A foreign key constraint fails. Okay, we need to run departments table first and then employees table. Okay, and then projects table, right? That's true. Okay, now we have completed using our insert and values command, right? Okay, now we'll learn how to fetch data, how to fetch our table from the databases. Okay, now we'll use select for this purpose. Select all when star, that means asterisk sign, that means all the data. Okay, so select all data from let's say our this table. Okay, employees table, from employees. Okay, now let's run this table. Okay, so we made a mistake. Let's remove this first E and then run again. So this is our table from company DB database, and similarly we can fetch others data from, let's say, departments. Okay, and as well as select all from let's say projects, right? Sorry, select. Okay, so these are our data tables, right? So in this part, like, so here in this part we have successfully successfully created a database and used this database, and we created 3 tables into under our database, and then we successfully inserted data or values into our tables, and then we learned how to fetch data from tables using MySQL. Okay, now we will learn about most 2 important topic of SQL or of database, which is group by clause and join clause. So group by clause is very important because in our, like, for data analysis, if we talk about data analysis, this very important part, because it frequently uses this clause to perform data pre-processing and even data cleaning. Okay, so group by clause is associated with aggregate function. What is aggregate function? Minim, average, sum, okay, and like distinct, count, etc. These are the aggregate function. So actually group by clause is used to group identical data. Okay, so it uses in the select statement, and it precedes the order by and having clause. Okay, so we'll understand them more clearly in our workbench file, and then now talk about join clause. The join clause is used to combine data from 2 or more tables. Okay, so if we let's say in this database we can use join, right? How we can use this employees table, and if we want to get all the information, all the data of this department table in this employees table, okay, we want to get data from department table to employees table, then we can use join. How? Using this department ID. So this will simply using this employees table, we can get, like, for which employee ID work in which department, which employee work in which department, so we can build a connection right here. So we can do this by using join. Similarly, we can build connection between employees and project. Then we can know how which employee working in which project, and the project name and the project start date, end date. So this is very important topic in MySQL or in database, the join thing. So I have created, actually in this tutorial we will do a short project. We will build our database have already created in the previous part, right? Now in this part we will actually solve some problem. We will in short we will now in this part we will perform data analysis in this database. Okay, so we will see in live, like in real world, how the group by and join this clause are uses to give you a better understanding. So without delaying, let's proceed further. So here we need to, so here we will implement 6 queries here. So these are part of data analysis, the task we will be performing in this session, in this section, that are part of data analysis. So we'll actually perform data analysis using MySQL. We'll use this database, the previous database, and we will implement some queries that are related to real world, and where we will use our group by and join clause. Okay, let's start with our first query, where it says list all employees in engineering department. So the to find the department engineering or marketing, that we need this department name, right, from departments table. So here we need to join, we can simply determine this, that to get employees and engineering department, so we need to join employees and departments table to get the department name, and to get the employees, all the employees who worked in like engineering department. So I'll write the query like this: select all from employees. Okay, and I will use allies. That means allies is a representative. Okay, that means here I used E as alias. That means it will represent employees. That means I use only a letter instead of a word. Okay, so this is called aliasing or referencing. Okay, so select all from employees E. Now I will join so here I will join departments table. So departments as D on, I will join them using one keyword, which is department ID. Okay, so on D dot department ID and E dot department ID. So department ID is common between two tables, right? So department ID. Okay, so I need to use a filter, because I need to find only the engineering department. Okay, so here I will use where command, where the departments, D dot departments ID, department ID equal engineering. Okay, so now if we run this query, we will get our output. Here the department, the engineering department is showing the value of engineering department. Okay, select all from employees, join departments D, and on D dot departments department ID and E dot department ID, and then D dot department ID equal, sorry, this is showing nothing, because here we made a mistake. We'll simply give name instead of ID. Okay, now if we run this query, we'll get our desired output, which is this. So all these employees are working in engineering department, right? There are 4 employees. Okay, so now let's go move to our next query, which is count the number of project in each department. Okay, so count the number of project in each department. So to implement this query, we need departments table and projects table. Okay, so we need to simply count the project in each department. So select, we'll use select the department name, and I want to count the rows. Okay, and I want to fetch this data from departments table, and here I want to join the projects table. So I'll use join. Actually I want to tell you one more thing. There are 4 types of join: left join, inner join, right join, and outer join. So left join is most common because most of the time we use left join to perform our task, right? So that's why. And join, left join, these two are identical. Okay, so here if I write left join instead of join, so it will give me the same output. So that's why I'm writing only join. But the most common join function we use, this is left join. Okay, so left join from departments, left join projects as P. Okay, departments, these are aliasing on d dot department id p dot department id. Okay, and then where I want to group by this. So this is the place where group by comes, right? So here to find each the number of project in each department, so here to find the number of project in each department, we need to use group by, because group by we know that group by groups all the identical element, right? So here I will use group by department name. Okay, be careful guys when writing queries. Your column name should be accurate, otherwise it will be a mess. Okay, so it's showing us all 0. Okay, so guys, here we made a silly mistake. Here we put and here instead of comma, so we need to put comma, right? And now if we run the code, we'll get our desired output. So here we see this this as column name is count all. So we can change this column name like aliasing, as I told you. We can give that name like as count of project, right? Count of project. Okay, so now we successfully renaming this as count of project. Okay, so let's go to number 3. Find total budget for all project in marketing department. Okay, so for this we need projects and departments, right? Projects and department, these two. So for this we need projects and marketing, these two department. So here there are budget in projects table, right? Now we simply select here we need to group by. Why? Again, because here we'll use projects, right? This is our main table, and in this projects table department ID can be multiple. So we need only each department or identical department output. So we need to group the identical values. So select sum, and to use group by, we discussed that to use group by we need aggregate function. Sum is an aggregate function. So sum budget, budget. Okay, find all the budget for. Okay, so select from projects P. Since we want to join here, then we need aliasing from projects P, and join departments as D on D dot department ID, some equal P dot department ID, and where department name department name D dot department name equal marketing. So we need data of marketing department, right? Let's close this query by using semicolon. So now, we find that 50,000, the budget of marketing department of all projects is 50,000 unit, right? Okay, so to list all employees hired, in the last 12 months, so we need like employees table. Okay, for this, right, we need hire date, right? We need hire date, this information which is in employees table. So let's select the hire date, or sorry, we need to select we need to fetch the employees, right? So let's select employee name or the employee ID. Okay, so select employee ID, employee ID. Okay, and then we want the first name and their last name. Okay, from employees table. Okay, so from employees table, and we want to filter out the employees that hired in the last 12 months. Okay, so here we'll use a filter where we'll use hire date to use filtering, like hire date is greater than equal, that means hire date will be in the last 12 months. Hire date is greater than equal current date minus interval. We need interval by last 12 month, interval 12 month. Okay, so let's run this query. Okay, so here we successfully fetched the employees that who got hired in the last 12 months. So this filtration is very important, right? So here this query is simple, but we need to know this how to filter like the last 12 months. So here, see what did we do? We simply filter apply filter on hire date column. Okay, where we filter like that, where hire date is greater than or equal our current date minus the subtract from interval 12 month. So that means from now the previous 12 in between previous 12 year 12 month, the all the hire date. Okay, so it will show data of like the previous 12 month hire date data, right? Okay, so let's go to number 5, find the total number of employees in each department. So we need two tables here. Select total number of employees. So select count. We need to count, use count here, count all, let's say all, and we need to use department department name. Okay, department name, and count as total number of employees, and from let's say from employees as E. Okay, and then join using left join departments as D on D dot department ID and E dot department ID okay, D dot department ID and E dot department ID where sorry, here we need to apply group by, because it's prompting for each department total number of employees, right? So to get the total number of employees, since we need to use count here, so there must be group by. So we can also remind this like in such a way, where there is aggregate function there is group by. So this is a good way to remember it, like there where there is aggregate function there is group by clause, right? And if we need group by clause, then we need aggregate function. Okay, so here we will use group by department name, right? Okay, so let's run this query. Here we get all the information, like in engineering department there are total 4 numbers employee, right? Okay, so let's jump into our last query, calculate the average project duration. Okay, so in our last query it wants to calculate the average project duration. So to get the project duration we need only project table, because we need only end date and project start date. So we need the difference of these two date to get the project duration, and we can use average function to get the average project duration. So I simply use select date diff. This function is like it's already recommending us date diff. Okay, date difference between end date and start date as and we need to use here average okay, average as average project duration from projects, right? Okay, so let's run this query. Here we get our final output. Okay, so one thing to note here, which is this date diff, this function actually take this, right, as normal date time format, but it returns as the value in day format. So by 195.80 we by this value we get actually the days, total number of days. That means 195 days. The average project duration is 195 days. Okay, so the value in is returning is in date format, so we need to keep that in mind. Okay, so we successfully completed our 6 queries. So I think we are cleared, right guys, how to use join and group by and the need of them. They are very important in data analysis, because I think in almost every cases we use this join and group by function. So these are very important. We need to have a clear idea, clear concept we need to clear the concept of these two clause of right database. So thank you guys for your time to watch my video till now. I will end up for today. I hope to see you in my next video. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy. Assalamu alaikum.